west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. One west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy and get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Getting dividends. We start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nobody a domino. So what you suckers trying to do? Rhyming comical. Guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to them pussy niggas that's popping shit. Team of all stars. I coach them up like I'm Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we gon' check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I vomit this and regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid. Shit has gotten retarded since all the dominance. One west rising to prominent. Cause I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers, but I ride like I got group 5 for Uber. Rhymes hard like they've been viewed by Medusa. 9 milli Luger, 17 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta, niggas wildin', they win every dollar. They riding by black Impalas, let the semi holler. A showstopper, been the proper since the teeny bopper. But now I'm going them off Patron premium. A vodka. I put extensions on the Glock, modified the chopper. The swore heavy, war ready, and that's working mama. No marijuana, say I got the loudest silence on it. When I'm up on it, ain't no rapper do it like I do it. A lot of spitties and writers, but when they eat on, none of them can get to the fire around with me. And I had them niggas spin like a tire, down the deep. And I'm still dope as a piper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Fuel igniter, I'm winning, coming through with the title because I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me.
Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rebel, busy man shit, nigga. They turn their head over, nigga.
I read what Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Suckle up and stay alert. Another cop can stretch the nigga. He ain't demon, this an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gonna get active with you. From the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spin, I ain't listening. Is in fact the fear. If revenge was a woman, now I scope that bitch like Jake. It's our war, we gon' run the summer. It's gonna be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. As who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that. Bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand it. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young play. How you real trigger know them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? What he saying something, I ain't hear him. This shit light. It ain't on who got the gun, it's on who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game change. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. Six shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitching about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified rubber ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with that hollow sign, yeah, this the rim accord. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my bread, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
Yeah. Go ahead. Come on, West. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Look, I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black Gullah Jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black Gullah Jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black Gullah Jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Man, this shit is too easy, but they don't believe me. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming Vinny, VG. Hear them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. Mama grind, bitch, and work. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. Them niggas weak, they be churching. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. If he cross the line, I'ma back up and I'ma hit his ass with this virus. And I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. All my niggas we eat. I'm in this bitch with the itis. Say, all y'all do the sweet. Tell y'all to do the sweet. When nigga made the wrong move, he make his ass out the league. He ain't one of us hit the league. He ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black Gullah Jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Go ahead. Look, I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black Gullah Jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black Gullah Jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black Gullah Jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat.
You see this look that's on my face, bitch, I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, put on my cleats, was in the field with it. You soft as cotton, just an actor, Uncle Phil with it. And then my target's on the move, bitch, I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Gullah Jack revolutionary. Cold on him like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's wartime for peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we tanks. We form up in ranks. We body bag this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on them, that's cap shit. I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep.
Shalom Israel, Shalom Israel. Yahba Shem Yahshua rock a thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shamar thumb by Shem Yahshua to the sisters. I'm Priest Officer Quran Yah of the ISUBK under Commander General Rihanna. And this is another Tuesday night Brotherhood class. You understand? So, of course, you know, we want to stay in season with these topics. As y'all know, that I still don't know what his title is, but I'm guessing he was I'm gonna just call it what it was. He was an activist for white supremacy. You understand? Charlie Kirk was unalived, I believe, last week, Wednesday, in real time, in real life, in broad daylight at a rally on live TV. You understand? Now, a reoccurring thing, Barak Yallah, Yabashim Yashabrakatah, my brother, the water for tapping in. A reoccurring thing, right, with black people, you understand, throughout our history and the captivity of being up under our oppressors, we tend to sympathize and resonate. You understand? So I can type something real quick. We tend to sympathize and resonate with the oppressor when something bad happens to them. You understand? Which shows the lack of compassion that we have on each other. You understand? I'm gonna tell you why. When you talk to a black person about DK, when you talk to a black person about police brutality or some unrighteous killing that some oppressor did to one of us, you understand? It is become normalized for black people to be like, well, every time a black person get killed by someone of another race, we tend to holler social injustice and you know, we speak out and sigh and cry against other nations unaliving us, but we don't say anything about the black on black crime. That's deflecting how evil white people have been to us in this society. You understand? And also, it shows you that blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, when their rebuttal to somebody unaliving us unjustly is to talk about the black on black crime or the Latino on Latino crime or you know, the crime that we committed against each other and our communities, when they bring up that to deflect how we've been abused in this empire by the rest of these other nations, they're literally just saying one thing. I sympathize with white people. I really don't care what happens to my own people. I only care about being more like the oppressor. You understand? And furthermore, that's showing a lack of compassion on our own people in this, right? When we unalive each other in the ghettos, whether you want to call it justice or not, you understand? 9 times out of 10, somebody's going to prison for the rest of their life, or it's going to be a retaliation with that homicide. You understand? Now, the oppressor, on the other hand, he has a license to unalive the children of Israel. You understand? So much so that they often are acquitted of unaliving us. You understand? Racist police officers, right? Even the devil that unalived Trayvon Martin, which he wasn't even a police officer, right? But he got acquitted of the murder charges, and then he was able to sell the gun for astronomical amount of money just because it's a piece of history that killed a young black boy. You understand? This shows you how evil America has been to the children of Israel, Salakia, as well as how brainwashed we are and how desensitized we are for one another when atrocities are being committed against us at the hands of another people, right? Our people, Salakia, tend to bring each other up on charges, you understand, about the cruelty that we do amongst each other. But when a Caucasian man is brought up on charges, you understand, instead of hitting the problem head on that this is a racist society or this is the people that are on top of the children of Israel in this society are cruel and evil to us, instead of calling it what it is and speaking about the facts about how white supremacy has destroyed black people, our people have become brainwashed slaves into deflecting what goes on when we're being mistreated by Caucasians and try to use and compare examples of black on black crime versus all out white supremacy, right? And I'm going to show you exactly what that's called, right? So like, I'm going to share my screen. This is a condition called Stockholm Syndrome. This is a goddamn sickness. It's an illness. You understand? Like people who sympathize with the slave master are are the perfect slaves. You understand? Stockholm syndrome is a psychological phenomenon where hostages or abuse victims develop a bond with their captors, often leading to sympathy and loyalty towards them. You understand? Here, when you got black people that will sit up here and deflect the facts that we've been unalived unjustly in this empire, right? They deflect that into saying, well, black people kill black people on a daily basis. Yeah, you have Stockholm syndrome. You have a mental illness. You understand? And the only cure for that mental illness is to come into the truth up under Commander General Yohana and this IHBK. Because a lot of black people, and I get it. I get it. This is all we know is to be up under our slave masters. You understand? This is like, we've been in America for so many generations. We are scared to be free. It was the same thing that happened in ancient Egypt. You understand? We were scared to be free. You understand? We wanted to go back to the flesh pots. Black people do not want to be freed from white supremacy or our white captors. You understand? Right? And I'm saying all of that to say this. A whole lot of black people, right, spoke highly of this Charlie Kirk cat. You understand? Expressed sympathy, right, for Charlie Kirk. When Charlie Kirk did nothing more but keep the fire lit up under white supremacy and talk bad about the black community, mainly the black man and black fathers. You understand? In fact, Salakia, I don't want to play one of his videos because I don't want to get the channel flagged. You understand? But this devil, right? And he is a devil because the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand? This devil's sentiments towards black people were just downright evil. You understand? He said that the destruction of the black community is we don't have fathers in our households. Well, the reason why we don't have fathers in households is because of white people. Before integration, you had a black man in every black household. As a matter of fact, Salagi, let me see if I can pull up some statistics on this real quick. Y'all bear with me real quick. Y'all bear with me 1 second. I'm trying to Slovakia. Y'all bear with me 1 second. I'm trying to get some actual statistics. How do we explain in 1960 the majority of black children were born in two parents' household? Okay, hold on, I'm getting somewhere. Okay, hold on. This might be it. Slovakia. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. I'm about to read some of this article. Okay, it says, what proportion of children of African Americans have two parents? Contrary to popular belief, 42 of black children live with two-parent households compared to 70 of all children, and 51 live in one-parent household. This is not an article I'm looking for, Slovakia. Okay, this might be it. Slovakia. Okay, this should give us some context of what I'm trying to speak about. I'm gonna speak on it briefly, but then I'm gonna tie it into Charlie Kirk. You understand, and how you know if you love Charlie Kirk or Christ. You understand, because you can't love both. All right. The civil rights movement and the collapse of the black family. Right. The prevailing notion that bad schools are the results of slavery or poverty or even racism is simply historically false. Those who propound these ideas have never heard of Dunbar High School. Slovakia. Okay, let's get into it. The collapse of the black family, we alluded to an earlier article, is inextricably linked to the rise of the civil rights movement. In his sociological study, The Origins of African American Family Structure, sociologist and historian Stephen Ruggles of the University of Minnesota documents that from 1880 until 1960, married households with two-parent homes were the general rule of black family structures. So when we got out of slavery up until the 60s, right? So from 1880 until 1960, this is literally 80 years. 80 years without being around our slave master. It said married households with two-parent homes were the general rule of the black family structure, meaning the majority of black families had two-parent households. Others have argued in 1880s, black families were nuclear families in places like Philadelphia. Two-parent households were general. Hold on, Slovakia. Others have argued that in 1880, black families were nuclear families in places like Philadelphia. Two-parent households were generally more common among ex-slaves. Taken together, two-parent households were found 80% of the time among ex-slaves, while the figure for the freeborn was 77%. So, and 80% is 70. Okay, so basically what they're saying is it was a little bit more common for an ex-slave or ex-slaves to have two-parent households, right? But it was also as common as a freeborn person to have a two-parent household in the black community. Basically, in a nutshell, in the 1880s, you understand, about 10, 15 years after we got out of slavery, because slavery didn't altogether end in 1865. And some people were still slaves in the 1880s. You understand? But all in all, around the time where slavery was abolished in the United States, and they started to collect the statistics on black family households, the majority of black families had two-parent households. You understand? Now, watch this. How can I ask this question? What was the civil rights movement about? The civil rights movement was a social movement primarily from 1954 to 1968 aimed at ending racial segregation, discrimination, and disenfranchisement, particularly for African Americans in the United States. The civil rights movement was literally about black people like our pastors, Dr. Martin Luther King, Reverend Jesse Jackson, you understand, Al Sharpton, all of these big-headed Negroes, they put together a movement to beg white people to accept them into society. You understand? Meanwhile, prior to this movement, we didn't need to be accepted in their society. You understand? We had our own businesses. We had our own airports. We had our own grocery stores. We had our own jazz clubs. We had everything that the black community could ever want and need, being behind enemy lines, still in the land of our captivity. You understand? But this civil rights movement, these niggas begged to be with their slave masters. And watch what happened. Nizamanah, Yahweh Shemal Latha Bashim Yahushua, sis. Right? So, in the 1880s, from 77 to 80% of black households have two parents. The church played an important role in this aspect. In fact, non-churchgoers fared considerably less well than their church-going neighbors in all significant social indicators. They had smaller families, fewer two-parent households, highly residential density levels, and they were disproportionately poor. We see similar data in places like Harlem in the 1920s. And of course, when you get Christianity in its purest form, and I'm not saying that they had Christianity in its purest form, but the Bible supports black households to have two parents in it. You understand? Like when you read throughout the history of the children of Israel, the Lord hates divorce. You understand? But just having a Bible-based lifestyle, you understand, when you actually looking towards the scriptures to see how you're supposed to live, marriages are inevitably going to be more often successful than to not, live how the Lord told you to live, right? I'm gonna keep going. In 1960, only 22% of black children were raised in single-parent families, which means that 78% of all black families were structured around mothers and fathers. In the same year, 51% of black females between the ages of 15 and 44 were married and living with their husbands. Another 20% were divorced, widowed, or separated, and only 28% had never been married. By the 1970s, one writer argues the racial delegitimation of the black family, I know I probably butchered that word, Salakia, was so persuasive that even people at the center of power joined in. By 1994, 56% of black families were never married, while only 22% of black children were born to unmarried women in 1960. 70% were by 1994. So in 30 years, right? In a little bit over 30 years, the population went from only 22% of children being born to single parents, you understand, to 70% by 1994. And you know what else died along with the black household? Our black businesses, our economy. You understand? All of this had everything to do with the civil rights movement and all of these Negroes wanting to marry spiritually to their slave master. You understand? It is what it is. You understand? What happened to the black household? What happened to the black community? What happened to black people in America? How did black people get destroyed in America? It's simple. White people destroyed black people in America. Salaki, let me stop sharing my screen real quick. It's very simple. What destroyed the black community? The white community. What destroyed the black family? White families. You understand? What destroyed black businesses? White businesses. All of this is what happened with the civil rights movement. You understand? Now, and this is why I pose the question. Do you love Charlie Kirk or Christ? Because Christ never loved the slave master. You understand? As a matter of fact, Salaki, we're going to go to John 7:38. Salaki, bear with me. I'm share my screen one more time. Christ's mission on planet Earth was to save the black household. Christ's mission on planet Earth was to teach the children of Israel to separate from our oppressors, come back to our culture, our law, statutes, and commandments, and have brotherhood for each other up under the banner of keeping the law, statutes, and commandments that the Most High gave to the children of Israel. You understand? And that banner today, you understand, is the ISUBK under Commander General Yana. This is the only place where you're going to get the pure, unadulterated truth and pure, unadulterated brotherhood and sisterhood, right? We're not cutting corners. If you are of another nation on your father's side, you cannot come and be a part of this school. You understand? We don't have sympathy and compassion for another race of people that did our people so terribly. As a matter of fact, of course, yeah, we don't want to see anything happen to anybody. We're not about harming anybody. But when Charlie Kirk got his life taken away, you understand? Now, of course, it was a tragedy. His wife and his children seen it on TV. But in all actuality, I don't give a damn about it. You know why? Because I have to fix my own people. I have to have compassion on my own people. I can't have compassion on Charlie Kirk and still have compassion on black people. You know why? because Charlie Kirk's family is the reason for the destruction of my people in this empire. You understand? Not only is his family the reason for the destruction, they destroyed our communities, did a whole bunch of diabolical, crafty counsel against the children of Israel. And you know how pompous and proud white supremacy made Charlie Kirk? He literally spoke in them rallies against black men. He said the black household fails. The black household fails because black men leave the mother of their children. No, that's not why the black household failed. I just read you the statistics. The reason why the black household failed is because black people wanted to integrate with white people. And in turn, when we did integrate with white people destroyed our communities and our families with propaganda, you understand, and all types of crafty counsel, right? No black man left his goddamn wife and children to go create crack cocaine. No black man left his wife and children to go all the way across the goddamn world to the damn jungle where they got tigers at and brought heroin over here and flooded our communities in the 60s. That did not happen with black men. White men did that. You understand? The welfare system that kicked the fathers out of the house in the early 70s, in the late 60s, you understand, was created and perpetuated by white men, not us. We didn't do any of that. As a matter of fact, up until the 1960s, 80% of black households had two parents in it. Imagine that. Charlie Kirk had a point. He said that the black community was destroyed because the fathers weren't in the household. I give him that. He's absolutely correct. But it's not the black man's fault that the black man was not in the black household. It was the white man's fault. Let's call it what it is. They shipped all of our grandfathers. If you're around my age, all of our grandfathers went to go fight that Vietnam War. Go watch the movie Dead Presidents with Lorenz Tate and Chris Tucker. And that movie was so damn beautiful in this. You black people that think Latinos are not the same as you, yeah, it was Lorenz Tate's character. It was Lorenz Tate's character. It was Chris Tucker's character. And then it was the Latino brother's character. He was a Puerto Rican brother. You understand? They all, Salakia. Lorenz Tate, his character signed up for the draft or signed up to go to war. You understand? Chris Tucker and the Puerto Rican brother, the Ephraimite brother, they got drafted to the war. If you black, Latino, or Native American Indian, and you around my age, chances are you have a grandfather or a great-grandfather, you understand, if you're a little bit younger than me, that went to that war. They came back, you understand, destroyed from all of the killing that they had to do to survive. You understand? Not only them brothers, the older brother that ran the gambling shack, that ended up robbing a bank with them at the end of the movie when they got life. He lost a leg in one of them wars. They did all of that for this country. He couldn't find a job. He was sitting up there struggling. He had a woman, you understand, that was relying on a neighborhood pimp and a drug dealer to throw her some extra money on the side. Because the black community was starved so much by white people. That brother ended up going to go rob a bank. His friends died. One of them died during the robbery. The other friend died because he had a drug addiction that he picked up over there in Vietnam from seeing all of the goddamn killing that he was forced to be a part of because he got drafted in the war. This is in the 60s. This is what happened to the black community. White men happened to the black community. You understand? And blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, y'all need to understand this. You have become callous. You understand, to the mind frame and the atrocities and the brutality, the abuse that black men have been subjected to in this empire. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves if you crying for Charlie Kirk. You ought to be ashamed of your goddamn self to deflect what happens to our people at the hands of these Caucasians by saying, oh, black people kill each other all the time. You ought to be a goddamn shame to yourself. You understand, Salaki? Go back to the scriptures. This is the book of John, chapter 7 and verse 38. Salaki, verse 37. In the last day, the great day of the feast, Yahushua stood and cried, saying, if any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. They having Passover. Christ stood up, saying, man, look, if you thirsty for knowledge, come to me. Come holler at me. You understand? And drink. Right? If you're tired of being oppressed, if you don't know what to do in order to pick yourself up, in order to get you some confidence, in order to fix your nation, in order to not let white supremacy reign over the black community, come drink what Christ gave you to drink. Verse 38, he that believeth on me, as the scripture have said. Christ said, believe on him as the scripture have said. Out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. These are the men in the ISUBK that believe on Christ as the scripture have said. And out of our bellies, we get on them podiums, speak our mind according to what Christ taught us. And we show you the flow, that we show you the flowing rivers of living water. We're going to teach you how to be alive. We're going to raise the dead by giving you the medicine to change the black community for the better. We're not going to sit up here and tell you you need to be crying for Charlie Kirk. But you white people, I got something to tell y'all about Charlie Kirk. Go forgive that dude that unalived him, just like you want us to forgive you for putting us in slavery, for chopping our feet off. You understand? For cutting brothers' rods off, for barbecuing us at picnics, for feeding our babies to alligators, for separating our sons and daughters from our Northern Kingdom brothers right there at the border down there in Texas and the borders of California down there. You understand? Forgive that white supremacist for unaliving y'all great white hope. Forgive them. What would Christ do? Right? Ain't that how y'all feel? Don't you believe in Jesus Christ? Forgive him. You want the black community to forgive white people every time, and this how you know y'all want us to forgive y'all, right? You know that we shouldn't forgive you. Let's start with that, right? You know damn well that we should not forgive you. You know why? You know how I know? Because everybody that runs for president, they all have talks of reparations for so-called black people. That's how I know y'all know we shouldn't forgive you. And on top of that, you will never forgive Charlie Kirk's murderer. You won't forgive him. You know we shouldn't forgive you because you're not going to forgive Charlie Kirk's murderer. You understand? But y'all dangle reparations in our face. Every new president. Then what happened? They just stopped talking about it. You understand? Forgive Charlie Kirk. Don't y'all want us to forgive? Huh? Wasn't slavery so damn long ago? Charlie Kirk got killed last week on Wednesday, I believe. That's in the past. Right? Forgive Charlie Kirk's unalive her. Salakia. Go to 2 Corinthians 11:4. This is the book of Second Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 4. For he that cometh preacheth another Jesus, whom we have not preached. Salaki, excuse me, from the top. For if he that cometh preaches another Jesus, whom we have not preached, or if ye receive another spirit, which ye have not received, or another gospel, which ye have not accepted, ye might well bear with him. For I suppose I was not with behind the first chiefest apostles. You understand? Listen, in the ISUBK under Commander General Hannah, we're not preaching of no other Jesus. When you look at the works of Christ, who did Christ do it for? He did it for the children of Israel. He told the children of Israel to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. He told the children of Israel to have compassion and brotherhood on each other. He never told the children of Israel that they should have passion and sympathy on the Romans. Never, not once. He never told blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians to join hand in hand with each other and cry when one of these goddamn Romans get put to death. He never did that. You understand? The Maccabees, which is some of the most revolutionary brothers that you can ever read about in these scriptures. They didn't cry and sing Kumbaya when their Greek slave masters was being killed. There's nowhere in the scriptures where you can find a high priest of the nation of Israel, you understand? Well, a righteous high priest, of the nation of Israel, you understand? Cry for what happened to Alexander the Great. No, we wasn't doing that. You understand? These brothers was in one spirit. You understand? Even though they lived way before Christ, they was revolutionaries just like Christ. It was a different time though. They was in times of guerrilla warfare. You understand? Christ was in the times of spiritual warfare. Salaki. It's like your computer moving kind of slow. Drop that. Matthew 6:24. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon. You can't serve two masters, blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You can't love Jesus Christ and Charlie Kirk. It don't work like that. Who did Christ say he was sent for? The children of Israel. It's over and over in the scriptures. Who is Christ a prince and a savior for? The children of Israel. Christ being a prince and a savior of the children of Israel, he's standing in solidarity with the children of Israel. What did all of the prophets prophesy about before Christ? The children of Israel being saved, and the rest of these nations having to serve out slavery for what they did to the children of Israel. That's what happened every time. You understand? It's like it. Slacking. Let me read that again. You cannot serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. You understand? Our people have got it misconstrued that you can serve two masters. You can't be a disciple of Christ and serve the Most High God up under Christ if you love Charlie Kirk. You know why? Because Charlie Kirk hated black people. But you know who loves black people, right? The Most High God. You can't love Charlie Kirk and say you love the Most High God. You can't love Christ and say you love the Most High God. You know why? Because Charlie Kirk hates the very people that the Most High God says is his favorite people. Charlie Kirk and the Most High God are not on one accord. So you can't love him and say you love Christ. Christ being the Son of God, you understand? Christ being Prince of the children, the King of the children of Israel, you understand? Set up by the Most High God. You can't love Christ and Charlie Kirk if you crying about Charlie Kirk being unalived. Let a white supremacist that loves Charlie Kirk and his ideology, right? Let that white supremacist love Charlie Kirk and his ideology. And then he actually wakes up to the truth that God is a nigga, Christ is a nigga, all of the angels are niggas, the children of Israel are blacks and Latinos, and the Lord only loves them. They're going to become atheists if they call themselves white supremacist Christians. You know why? Because they understand they cannot serve two masters. Neither can you, blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Our people have been blinded to the fact that white supremacy is the God of white people, not the Most High. The king of white people is not Christ. It's white supremacy. Look at Charlie Kirk. And then the crazy part about it is, I'm not sure because I haven't really done too much research on it, but I believe, this is what I was hearing, that there was talks of these Charlie Kirk supporters going to HBCU colleges to try to basically get some get back for they top spokesman, you understand, against black people and for white supremacy to get they get back on what happened to Charlie Kirk. Come to find out, it was a full-blown Caucasian sodomite that unalived Charlie Kirk. And we ain't had nothing to do with it. And I'm not going to lie to you, right? Big shout out to Captain Tazariak, right? Captain Tazariak is a very wise captain in this ISUBK under Commander General Rihanna. One thing Cap said, and I was like, damn, that's heavy. Cap was like, I was kind of scared that somebody like crashed out that was black. Now, me personally, This is what I believe. When it happened, when what happened to Charlie Kirk happened to Charlie Kirk, I automatically thought, yeah, that was a white person that did that. And I'm gonna tell you why. Black people, for the most part, and I could have been wrong, you understand? But black people, for the most part, we are scared of Caucasians. I'm gonna keep it real with you. You understand? I've been living in the hood all my life, right? Every black person that I see with a gun, right? They will rob, shoot, steal, kill, all of this to other black people. You understand, right? But soon as the police come riding up your street, them big white boys in them squad cars, if they bounce out on a brother in the ghetto, he's going to run with that gun in his pocket. Trust me, I know. I used to be one of them niggas. A white person, a big white boy bounce out of a police car, I'm not finna up my banger and try to get on him. No, I'm scared of these white boys. They got the power to put a nigga away forever, as well as unalive you. This is the mind frame of the average nigga in the hood, right? Don't let me get started on these so-called black activists. Oh my God, you niggas are even more scarier than the regular niggas in the streets. I would have never in a million years, like, if it would have came out that a black person was the one that unalived Charlie Kirk, I ain't gonna lie, my head probably would have busted out through my meat tree. You understand? I would have been shocked because of the fear that we have for white people, because of the love that we have for white people. I already knew it was gonna be, and to keep it real, right? I didn't even really understand who Charlie Kirk was. I seen a couple of his videos, but I never really looked into him like that because he's a typical young white supremacist. I believe Charlie Kirk was younger than me, but he's a typical young white supremacist. He's an educated, well-spoken white man that a lot of people listen to. Those type of white boys, they're not for the black community. Like, never. You understand? Right? But after he was unalive, this is when I started paying attention to a lot of his speeches. And I was like, oh shit. That's when what Captain Tazariak said, it made sense. Like, oh, this is why Captain Tazariak said this. Yeah, if I would have understood the magnitude and the influence that Charlie Kirk had on white supremacists and white people in general, I probably would have believed exactly what Captain Tazariak believed. Like, damn, bro, man, please don't let this be one of us. But me not being really tapped in with the political side of America, because I really don't care about that shit. That's just me personally. A lot of brothers got certain gifts and talents, you understand, that the Lord has blessed them with, and certain interests that are useful in the ISUBK under Commander General Rihanna, you understand, as far as certain things that brothers into that can be useful to push this truth. Me personally, I'm not really like a political type of cat, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to looking at what's going on with politics and Washington D.C. and white supremacist activists. I'm not really all into that. You understand, right? But Captain Tazariak, you understand, he's very knowledgeable about politics. You understand, things of that nature, to where when he seen it happen, he already know what Charlie Kirk's MO is. So that had Cap like, oh shit, man, I hope a nigga ain't crash out. Me not knowing what Charlie Kirk is actually about, all I'm hearing is this nigga's a white supremacist. Well, shit, He a white supremacist. We ain't finna do nothing to him. You understand? That's usually how I go in the black community. Blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians. I'm not gonna lie to you. Charlie Kirk said a whole lot about black people. Whole bunch of racist bullshit about black people. Excuse my French. But I guarantee you, if Charlie Kirk found himself at 9 o'clock at night on 82nd and MacArthur out here in East Oakland, one of the roughest cities in the history of America and black people as well, black people will not touch Charlie Kirk. They're not going to try to rob him or none of that. It's going to be, unless he probably had a business establishment or something like that, you know, niggas will try to go get some money. But just to see an average white boy walking around in the black community, they'll be like, man, what the fuck this nigga doing over here? I mean, in these times of gentrification, they probably wouldn't say shit to him. You understand? That was my sentiments on why I thought I knew that hell no, ain't no black person doing this. You understand? Salaki. Get a couple more scripts. I'm gonna end it in a hot second. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. You got all of these black people, so I can put it on the screen. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. You got all of these black people crying, talking about R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. Meanwhile, this nigga Charlie Kirk is literally telling black people to their faces. This nigga ain't saying this shit on the internet. He's having rallies, allowing people to get up on the mic and tell him about himself to their face. And he's literally telling you to your face, yeah, nigga, y'all are the reason for the destruction of your people. You understand? Meanwhile, we crying for him. Now you literally got black people sitting up here, man, and it be hood niggas too. Crazy. I seen a rapper from out here in Oakland. This nigga talking about, man, R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. He was a real one, man. He was a real nigga, man. A nigga that I know grew up in a household with no father. He blames that on your daddy, why your daddy wasn't around. Even though the systematic white supremacy of America is the reason why this brother's father wasn't around. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Martin Luther King, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, all of these niggas in the 60s trusted our enemies and starting the civil rights movement. We want to desegregate. We want to integrate. 1880s, all the way to them niggas started that bullshit with this civil rights movement. 1880s to the 1960s, 80% of black households got two parents in them. Soon as the civil rights, desegregation, integration, our businesses die, our education suffers, the black household is null and void and destroyed. And then in the 70s, they start giving us all of these black exploitation movies because perception shapes the reality, especially of children. And these was the movies that the youngsters was watching. You know why? Because daddy out the house at this time. Mama got to go to work. So they watching Superfly, The Mac, Willie Dynamite, all of these different movies that perpetuated a death style for black people. You understand? That's because they trusted in the Charlie Kirks of this world and not in Christ. With that being said, I'm going to go on and end it. Yahweh Shem Al-Shah brought a thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shemal a thumb by Shem Al-Shah to the sisters. Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, understand this. The more you love Charlie Kirk, the more your people are going to continue to be destroyed, and the more white supremacy is going to reign over black people, Latinos, and Native Indians in this country. Shalom.